Hello everybody and welcome back to CFO Conversations. I'm your host Paula Kensington and I have the great pleasure of welcoming back Sarah Alder to the studio. Welcome.
Thanks, Paula.
Today we're going to talk about global mobility in terms of moving from the UK. Both of us are from the UK originally, and how do we use our skill set and our professional qualifications to actually transcend, the globe. I mean, we're both here. We've both been here a very similar amount of time. I came to Australia under an independent skills visa. Sarah, I think you came under the spousal route.
Yes, that's correct.
So how do people really think about moving countries? We know it's becoming an ever smaller world, and that's actually quite easy to move countries. Sarah, your experience, talk to us about how you came here under that spousal route but then found your own work.
Yeah, sure. So I was lucky enough to come with my partner at the time, who came under secondment with one of the big four professional services companies. So that was a nice, easy, safe route into the country. Not one without work to be done to obtain the opportunity, but a nice, safe route. And I was fortunate enough to get a spousal visa. But once we arrived in Australia, I was on my own. I had to go out there into the marketplace and I had to find work. And it was a little bit intimidating at first. I'd come from London. I thought, this will be fabulous. They'll love me. I've got all this great experience. And then quickly I learnt that people want local market experience. And so you have to find a way of differentiating yourself in that market, being able to articulate what your value is, and then finding your first opportunity. And perhaps sometimes not minding if that's not the perfect opportunity, but knowing that as soon as you've got that local experience and you've met people on the ground, other doors will open.
Yeah, and I've talking to Sarah off camera, my view is too many people try and outsource their problem, which is finding a job. People are outsourcing that to the recruiters. So people might go to the recruiters and say, here I am, I'm a qualified accountant, I've got 10 years experience in this country, here I am. It's like, well, it's not the recruiter's problem. It's actually your challenge to find a job. So don't make your problem their problem. I think you've got to make it as easy as possible for recruiters.
You do, and I think if you walk into any recruiter's office and you've got a clear idea of what it is you're looking for and what you stand for and what benefits and what talent you're going to bring, then that's going to make the recruiter's job a lot easier. So I think it's really important to do that thinking before you engage in those conversations.
Yeah, definitely, and be known. I mean, you've touched on that already, but be known. What is it that you're known for? What is it that stands you apart from the other 5,000 accountants looking for the same job?
Exactly.
And I know I've said that to people. So tell me about yourself. Like, unable to tell a story, unable to articulate and map together for the recruiter or for me, who's the audience, the three key value add pieces that you can do. Exactly. So absolutely get your story right.
So my favourite question in any interview that I do, it's always the last question I ask, just when people think they're done and they're about to go out the door. I say in 3 words only, tell me what you stand for. And it's really interesting to see people's reactions and how much you actually get out of them just by asking for 3 words.
And you get a lot more than 3 words.
Sometimes you do.
And so my hint to people is around thinking of themselves as a business. So tell me what your motherhood statement is. Tell me what your vision, your mission, or however you want to call it. Tell me what yours is. And people don't think like that.
No, I don't think they do. But I think increasingly we live in a competitive world. We live in a very personalised world. I think the expectation is that people need to know themselves. Actually, knowing yourself says a lot about you and your capability as a leader in the workplace and how you can interact with those around you. So I think knowing what your statement is, I think it's almost should be part of the toolkit. And I would actively encourage people who are looking for new roles at the moment, or not even looking for new roles, go away, sit down and have a think about how you write that statement down and work out what it is you stand for. And it will make all of those subsequent conversations, whether they're in a current job or whilst you're looking for new work, it will make them easier.
Yeah, and you make a great point that relationships are becoming more and more important. So, people want to do business with people, and you need to put yourself front and foremost of that conversation, who you are, what you stand for, what you're passionate about. And if you can't think about what you're passionate about, don't go and talk to a recruiter, because don't sort of spoil your story until it's straight in your own mind, because you get one chance at impressing somebody, so you've got to be ready.
And knowing where your passions lie will help you actually get closer to the role that's the best fit for you.
That's right, and it's actually enjoyment when you do things that you actually are passionate about. It sounds obvious, but we don't give it enough attention.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks, Sarah, that's great.
No worries.